Hello, this is Roxana from Avic Diva, and today is day 13 of the 100-day challenge. Today is kind of a hard day for me, and I'm going to explain to you in a second. And this message goes to any person that is taking care of their parents or any loved ones with any kind of illness or that they're getting up there in age. The thing about it is, when this journey started, my mother may have had some issues, but they were minor. She could still take care of herself. My dad didn't want her to cook, probably because he thought she would turn something on and forget about it or whatever, but he was in the same boat. So I was cooking when I was staying with them in Puerto Rico. And when we came to the States and they stayed with my mom, with my sister for a month, she had somebody that was watching over them to make sure that they didn't leave anything on or whatever. Ever since my dad passed away on January 17th, my mother has gone from being pretty capable of taking care of most things to absolutely completely now being terrified of pretty much everything and not wanting to do much of anything. And today it all hit a pretty big point, boiling point, when I basically had to threaten her to take her to the home if she didn't eat. And as much as I'm smiling now, I was crying about half an hour ago because I'm at the end of my rope. I don't know what else to do. And that is something that is very normal for most people. After I did a little research, I found out that this is very normal and that there are solutions to this situation, but you have to find them. Tomorrow I have a couple of numbers I'm going to call of organizations that might be able to help me figure out exactly what's going on, because at the end of the day, here's what happens. When your parents are getting old and you decide that you're going to take care of them, unless you're a nurse or a doctor, you really don't know what you're doing. You really don't. You think you know what you're doing, but you're not. I mean, I have purchased seats so that she doesn't have to stand up in the shower. We've purchased all kinds of things to make her life easier. We give her Ensure instead of giving her 3 square meals a day because she's really not into eating right now. And we give her 2 Ensures, and we try to feed her as much food as we can during the day, which is not much, but it makes up for what she's not eating. We make sure that she's clean and that she's properly dressed, and we do her hair every day, and we take care of keeping her entertained as much as we can. Sometimes we just leave her watching TV because she's really not into talking. And to give you an example, yesterday she was so grumpy she was cursing out everybody, and my mother does not like to use curse words. So, and I realized that this is part of the process, and I also realized that there might be a level of depression and that she doesn't know, or she doesn't want to verbalize it because she realizes that my dad's not here, although we don't talk about my dad that much. And it gets to a point where it gets really frustrating. And I'm making this message tonight because if you or somebody you know is taking care of somebody that is over 80, and whether or not they have dementia, it's irrelevant. What I want you to understand is that if they're sick in any way, if they have cancer, dementia, any disease, or they're just getting old and they're getting a little bit slower, whatever, it is okay for you to feel frustrated, and it is okay for you to look for other people that can tell you, okay, I went through this and this is how I took care of it. There is no shame in asking for help, and more importantly, there is no shame in telling people that you have no idea what you're doing, that you feel overwhelmed, and that you need help. So if you are one of those people and you have no idea where to go, just leave me a message below. And when you do, make sure that you leave the state, because if I find any resources in your area, I'll be more than happy to send you a link to those resources. And in my case, I live in Central Florida and I have a couple of resources. But if you know of a resource for some sort of assistance, just let me know in the comments below. And let's help each other deal with situations like this so we don't feel so alone and so overwhelmed. Again, this is Roxana for Avid Diva, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.